Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. This is iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because we're just giving them away right now. Just everything. Giving it all away. Please like, subscribe. Today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold. And let's get right into it. EV car sales have fallen off a cliff. Fallen off a cliff like never before. You know, it's funny. In um, late May of this year, early June, there was a uh, dealership that was offering car payments under $100 a month, $59 a month. And I had people that reached out and said, "Hey, that's a pretty good deal." I haven't seen anything yet. Now, the EV car sales. Here's the funny thing. Remember the Inflation Reduction Act that did nothing but increase inflation? Well, with that, they dropped certain EV discounts and EV grants and EV entitlements so that people would get discounts on cars. Car dealerships, being the car dealerships and being car salesmen like they are, well, there's got to be a way to fix this. How can we fix this? So what they recently came up with was a way for you to get those discounts and for you to get those grants and those government entitlements for EV cars. Well, how do we do that, Dan? What we do is we label your uh, EV car as a commercial vehicle. Then we get it. Well, that sounds like a great idea, Dan. What kind of payment can you get me on this? They're getting payments as low for the Nissan Leaf as low as $20 a month. 20 bucks a month. Now you can sit there and go, that's a heck of a deal, Dan. It is. It's crazy. Now, mileage restrictions. I know somebody that leased an electric Fiat. She got a $90 payment, but her office was 4 miles away from her house. And literally, they just thought it was the funnest little golf cart that they ever could own. And that's exactly what they thought it was. It was a little mini Fiat, pretty good looking car. But that thing, they went out and leased it for 90 bucks a month. Everything right now, when it comes to EV cars, are not selling. The infrastructure is a real problem. There was a car fire yesterday that somebody sent me, Dr. Marvin sent me, and it took 50,000 gallons of water to put the fire out. Now, what you have is you have basically, when they burn, the batteries produce a spark and produce energy that keeps the fire going. How do you stop that? That's what somebody needs to work on, how they're going to stop the energy from continuing the burn. Okay? And water just, eventually it'll burn out. With electric cars, think about this. You have people that are out leasing electric cars, and they have gone up the percentage because payments, the average car payment is $735 a month. And I know people that have written, yeah, my car payment's $1,440, and it's just absolutely a complete nightmare right now. Now, the average lease car payment is $525 a month. Gosh, Dan, I can afford $525. I can't afford the $700. Let's get that. No matter what you are buying in this world, negotiate the price. If you want a boat and it's $30,000, offer them 10 right now. Offer them nothing. Offer them as little as possible. My father used to say this when I was a kid, teaching me to sell. You can't lower the number and then raise it, but you can start out and ask and offer any number that you would like. That's where we're at in this economy. Think about this. You only have 24% of all the Teslas that are leased right now. That's an interesting figure, isn't it? 24%. How about this? BMW leases 89% of its cars right now. That's wild. Well, people can't afford the ultimate driving machine. It's too expensive. Costs too much. Their EV cars, same thing. One for one, guys. 89% of the EV cars are getting leased out right now. So when you do that, you have these high payments. You've got these dealerships that are coming up with creative ways to figure out how they can, sell their vehicles. Well, it's an absolute disaster. But $20 cars, I'm telling you, if you want to lease a car, go lease a car. If you drive a lot, you're a fool because it will cost you. You have the residual value to turn it in, and then you have to buy the car out. I've had two friends recently say, hey, I leased this car for my wife, but here's the deal. When the lease ends in 24 months, 36 months, whatever the figure, the term was, they told me the buyout is going to be X on the car. Now, if you've ever leased a car, please understand this. It's like renting a house, renting an apartment. Well, let me see the damage you did to it. Hey, you know those tires look worn. Well, yeah, I drove the car. Well, can't return a car with worn tires. What do you mean I can't return a car? I'm supposed to go out and buy $1,000 worth of tires to give the car back to you? Yeah, you are. Crazy. Okay? So they cannot give these cars away. They're not selling. This is a global problem, but the economy is so good. Now, to go along with that, I just want to extend this just a little bit. Remember 2 years ago, and when GameStop was a meme stock, where Roaring Kitty would go out and talk about this, and he would promote this, and they had a short sale, and the company's stock price shot up to the moon. Okay, well, what's happened since then is that company has gone, done things to stay in business. Who is renting and buying video games? Oh, kids in their 20s, Dan. Let me just answer that real quick for you. No, they don't have any money anymore. It was just announced yesterday that GameStop may close 3,000 locations. There's a trivia question none of us would have guessed. GameStop has 3,000 stores. Who's going into a video game store? Okay? Other than my grandson's just unmotivated and lives with me. That guy. That guy. Okay? So, things are going out of business left and right, and I'm going to end this video with one thing that's my favorite story of late. But Charles River Labs is a lab company, and they are getting rid of 3% of their staff, and they're going to have 650 people laid off right now. 650. Guys, this is what we're living through. We're living through an economy that is so bad right now that you get $20 a month cars. You have 650 adults losing their jobs. Now, once again, my kid graduates college, does it with zero debt, goes out, gets the grants, pays for college, does all this stuff, moves to a new city just outside of Boston. Dad, I think I'm going to get 2 or 3 jobs right now until I find my ultimate job and my ultimate gig. He can do that. He can go work at a restaurant for 12 hours here, 20 hours here, take the train. Hey, the train's fun. I can get a train pass for 35 bucks a month. You know what I mean? He's got rent. Doesn't have a car payment. That's it. That's it. He can do that. And again, more power to him. But the problem with it is if he had 3 kids, he'd be doomed. Okay? He would be doomed. Now, with this presidential cycle of hope and change and all the nonsense that we have being force-fed to us by both sides, let's put it this way. We are in a country that is in decline right now. And this decline right now has got to be fixed. If we go down the path that we're going to crash into a wall. Okay, they took the signs down that say dead end ahead. We have to fix this. We have to fix this. So, I covered the Tesla fire. But again, guys, do you see how things are headed? See the problems? There's a lot more to cover. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. Think about this, guys. The instability of our economy right now is very reminiscent of 1929. It's also very reminiscent of the 70s and also of 2008, 2009 through 2012. You need to look at a hedge to protect yourself. Go to #1 rated Patriot Gold Group. Call them. They will answer all your questions. It's very easy to buy gold. 888-330-1431 is the phone number. Contact them. They've got the IRA that's free for life. You can get a 401k that's backed by precious metals. But when you have a company that's #1 rated for 8 years in a row, they're clearly doing something right. Go with the leader, but protect yourself right now. It's time to get your questions answered. Call Patriot Gold today. I'm not just a spokesman, I'm a client. I love this company. They have done so many good things for people. You guys have written me and thanked me for hooking you up with them. Please contact Patriot Gold today. 888-330-1431. Do it just to get your questions answered. You'll feel so much better. But contact #1 Patriot Gold today. Here are two things that will turn into bigger deals than they're talking about right now. Boeing has got real problems. Let's face it. You got 2 astronauts that are going to be stuck in space for 6 more months. Hello. Okay? Planes, that have doors falling off the planes midair, quality control issues. Well, they just got hit with a strike vote for their 30,000 employees that said, you know what, we're not doing this. We're not getting paid this little money. You guys are negotiating in bad faith. So Boeing is going to have a strike right now. Isn't that wild? Okay. Yay. We want better wages. Okay? Forget the quality control people. Think about this. How about self-quality control? That's what somebody told me from Boeing. That you would verify, hey, listen, check to make sure you're doing everything right yourself, Dan. Okay, kind of tired today. You know what I mean? Oh, God, did I screw that door on right? No. You know what I mean? Come on, guys. It's ridiculous. East Coast ports and the southern port, the one that's on the Gulf, they may strike as well. Could you imagine what a supply chain issue that would be for the holidays? Oh, wow. You haven't seen anything yet, guys. So plane issues, port issues, this is stuff that they just don't want you to talk about. Now, we've talked a lot about banking and the banking debacle and how bad it is right now. Gerald Monroe he banks at Wells Fargo and then processed a check that went through a Chase bank account, and the person at Chase punched a $400 check in for $4,000. The guy was then upside down in his account by $900. Oh, sorry, our mistake. Yeah, we'll work on trying to fix it for you. I don't know how we're going to credit this, but yeah, we punched that $400 check in, and you can read the story below, and they showed the image of the check, which I was like, that's his account. That's that guy's name on that account, which is insane that they would put that in a public forum. But $400 check for $4,000. I am telling you guys this right now. When you buy gas, okay, you get a receipt. When you go to the ATM, you get a receipt. Now, I have an assistant who's very, very organized. Unlike Dan, okay? When you come home at the end of the week, you put your receipts in this folder, Dan. And then what we'll do is we'll verify them with the account to make sure that they were charged correctly, and then we will throw them away. Do yourself a favor. This I enjoy doing because it takes 10 minutes to do this. A couple minutes to put this down, go online, open it up, and say, yeah, I did pay for gas and pay for $66.40. Okay? Do this. The people out there that don't have paper statements, you're fools. Absolute fools for this, because this is where you get stuck. Wow, I have a lot less money than I thought. Oh yeah, 3 months ago you had a $4,000 check go through that should have been $400. Nothing we can do about it now. Supposed to check that within 30 days. So, Donald Trump, when I was invited to go to the Trump rally in June here in Las Vegas, I got a press pass. I mean, guys, it was beautiful. It was a great experience. Secret Service, press pass. It was fun. Well, Donald Trump that day announced that he was going to do no tax on overtime, and I spoke to everybody I could talk to. I said, what do you think about no tax on tips? His new one is no tax on overtime. Could you imagine what this would do to people? There are people that rely on overtime to get by. Could you imagine 0 tax on that, on your overtime? That would be huge. If he can pull that off, absolutely, man of the people is what the article is titled below. That would be huge. Now, my son, he called me about that. He goes, is that true? Am I eligible for that? Because I do doubles all the time. If they'll let me do a double, I can get time and a half and not get taxed on that too. Okay, that sounds good. You see where it's going? Okay, that's where you hope it heads. So, oh, the other thing is, watch what you guys click on. Just a couple stories to finish this video. Watch what you click on right now, because there were ads that said, hey, are you a senior? Would you like $6,400 in free cash to pay bills? Yes, we all would. Give me $6,400 in free money. Well, you can do this. And what they were doing was changing people's insurance around. So it's funny. As you get older and you hear things like retirement, Medicaid, Medicare, things like that, you're like, oh, is that coming up? Point was, watch what you click on. Watch what your family members click on. Watch what grandma clicks on. Have somebody that's overseeing her stuff. And make sure that person has somebody overseeing them, that they're not unscrupulous. And, Grandma, write me that check for $2,500 so I can go to GameStop. Okay? Final story. I didn't even know this place opened in Southern California, or I would have eaten there. That little midget, Kevin Hart. Oh, you're not supposed to say that. I'm sorry. The little person, Kevin Hart, that short actor, okay, that guy who everybody thinks is the greatest guy in the world, he opened up a vegan restaurant. Vegan. I had no idea he was vegan. Called Heart House. Well, they just closed yesterday, abruptly, all of them but 2. Like 8 of them closed in a day in Southern California. I had no idea that place was open, guys, or I would have gone out there and eaten there. But still, what do you do? What doesn't this give you the idea that people don't want to eat vegan? People can't afford to go out and eat expensive food. McDonald's is keeping their food deal out through December right now, not because people can't afford it. People cannot afford to go out to eat. They cannot afford to eat at restaurants. Heart House is down for the count. Anybody eat at a Heart House? What did they sell at Heart House? Because when you search it, just go to your map and go Heart House, permanently closed in the Google Maps. Well, that's a stellar review. But what did they serve there? Did anybody eat there? Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And again, guys, I don't care what you're buying right now. Okay? Offer them this. Down here. Oh, the car's 40 grand, honey. Maybe we can offer them 30. No, offer them 15 for the car. What? So you're out of your mind. What are you, sniffing glue? No. Yeah, here you go. Hey, honey, let's go to that other dealership and see if they'll give us a better deal. Buy, leave, start this, because what you're going to see is desperate sales. My friend that got the $36,000 car for 30, and then they gave him basically 8 grand more on his trade-in than he thought it was worth. There you go. Okay, he purchased the car, wrote a check for $10,000 even, and got that car. Have a nice day. Reach out, hello@iallegedly.com. Join our email list because one is going out post haste. See you soon. Okay.